Hi, it's John Schubert doing a review of the Makita XDT19T Cordless Impact Driver. So if these are the types of things you like to see, product reviews or things about homes, hit like and subscribe, and it helps me out quite a bit with getting this channel going. So this is the Makita, and I'm a member of the Amazon Vine program. So what that means is they send you free product in returns for doing a review. And so normally you go through it and you see stuff that's maybe not a prime brand name, but occasionally you'll see something like this. So I saw Makita and I was like, holy cow, there's no way that's true. So I hit request on it, and about 4 or 5 days later, that's what arrived: the cordless impact driver in its box. So you get the impact driver itself, you get a bag, you get a second battery, which is in the garage right now, and then you get a charger. So a few comments on things that I like and don't like. So far, one of the things I was not a big fan of is that you can't wall mount the charger. So all of my other chargers for my other power tools, other brands, go on the wall. They're on the wall. I did find a very inexpensive mount that takes these plugs and makes this wall mountable. The other thing about this is that's probably the most complicated grid I've ever seen for a charger. And then also this has a fan. So yeah, you may be somewhat surprised if you plug in your battery and you hear a fan kick on and you're like, what is that? So it is 100 degrees here where I'm located. It was only about 85 or 90 in the garage when this happened, and the fan kicked on. So that may come as a surprise. The bag is obnoxiously huge. So yeah, the irony is I bought this tool and searched in far and wide for something that it would fit in, and I ultimately bought like a no-name bag at Lowe's and put it in there. But then when I got this, I was like, it fits perfect. So I'm not sure. I got the other bag that I bought for this, but to me it's kind of ironic that this tiny driver gets this huge bag. I don't know, maybe they thought you were gonna buy like 20 batteries for it. The only other thing I could say is a negative, it's not really a negative, but this is one of the few drivers that you'll buy and probably want to keep the manual for it. And I'll get into the specifics on that in a minute, but it does have a configuration to it, and it takes a little bit of reading and thinking and then remembering whenever you're on the job. So with those out of the way, the things that I love about it, my hat's off. I mean, it's compact, it's really powerful. I just got through putting up a patio cover, and this had no problems driving just about any driver, fastener or whatnot that I needed, whether it was a long wood screw to go into the fascia board, self-tapping, 2-inch sheet metal, or a thin number 10. And that's where this really comes into its own. So I'll kind of work my way from the top down. The nice thing about the chuck, you just put the driver into it. And now that I'm saying that, I'm just realizing one thing maybe that's another minus with this one. All my other tools have a clip up front, so you can keep a backup or your most commonly used driver bit here, then you just snap it in, so there's no driver bit. But anyway, when you push it in, it automatically engages. My other brand ones, I have to pull this out, so it's kind of a maneuver to get it in, whereas with this tool, it just pops right in. Now to come out, of course, you have to pull the collar out, and then it comes. The other thing that I like about it, one of the brands specific to a home improvement store that is a depot for homes, their driver, the light only comes on the moment you pull the trigger, and the moment you let go of the trigger, the light goes off. Their drill doesn't do it, but their driver does. This one, it comes on, it stays on, but it's like the team that created this was sitting around like, how can we make this even more cool? And someone was like, well, it's got a cool flashlight on it, let's make it a flashlight too. And so if you put this into the middle position, meaning it's not forward, it's not in reverse, but it's in the middle, and then press the button, it will stay on as a flashlight. There's only two things that make the flashlight go off. You either press the trigger again or change the selector. Well, according to the directions, that turned it off, but it doesn't appear to be. Anyway, that's what the instructions said. The clip, it's cool for if you're right-handed or left-handed, because it'll come with the clip and the screw separate in the bag, and then you can choose whether you want it on the right side, or in my case, since I like it here, I'm right-handed, I want it on my left side, so left side of my tool belt, or my right side. Anyway, you get it. Now to the last thing I was going to go over, and the most complicated, is the menu thing. It's got a little menu. I don't know how well it'll show up on this camera, but so there's a top and a bottom half to the configuration, and the way that you know which one you are doing, the light to the left comes on, and then it'll go solid 1, 2, 3, and 4, or when you press the button on the right, the blue light comes on, and now your menu is what's at the bottom, which is the type of screw. So when I do the left one, starting back over, it's 1, 2, 3, and 4, which is your levels of torque. So the level of torque that I would use to drive this into this thin aluminum is different than the torque I would use to drive this especially uncoated long screw into like a 4x4 wood post. And so what the torque setting allows you to do is, as the name implies, change the level of torque that's applied to it. The other thing with the blue, once you press the blue button and you go to that menu, so the first selection is for wood screws. And so what it does is it goes slow, and then as soon as it starts to go, then it goes fast, which is more typical of driving a screw into wood, or a long screw into wood. Setting 2, it doesn't make much sense to me. Setting 2 is for pulling screws out, so it's just high speed, pull the thing out. Setting 3 would be, for example, driving this into that thin metal. So it starts slow, it goes at a medium speed, and the hammering of the impact driver is very low and very small. So as soon as it hits that first time, it practically stops. I mean, you got to pay attention. You can still strip it if you just ham fist it and drive it. But if you're going at it and, you know, kind of being careful, when I was putting these into this type of material, whether it's that or with this behind it, this is aluminum. This is what patio cover uses as support for a ceiling fan and the light kits. This is like a fascia that a patio cover would use. So this was a great project to demonstrate the capabilities of this. So by putting it in that mode 3, which is for very light impact, low speed, back off as soon as you hit something, it was perfect for that. And then finally the last one, setting 4, is also supposed to be for sheet metal screws, self-tapping. It just drives it with more impact, and it doesn't stop as quickly. It does more impact. So anyway, I encourage you to read the manual. That's what I did. Overall, fantastic.
We record this, but there was one additional thing that I forgot to mention. There's a quick select button that's on the front. Think of like in the old days when remote controls first came out with ABs, where you could switch between 2 channels quickly. It's the same thing with this driver. You can put in a preset favorite. So let's say low torque, low speed for sheet metal, the 3rd setting for the automatic. And so you set that as your preset. if you're in a different mode and you hit that button, it puts you into your favorite. If you hit it again, it takes you to whatever mode you were in before you hit it. So it toggles between whatever you're currently in and a favorite, and then when you're done, it goes back. So that's that feature. I just wanted to
This is going to be my go-to driver, my impact driver from this point forward. You know, normally I kind of buy the tiers of my tools by how often I'm going to use it, how critical it is. So if it's something that like I need to work every time that I need it, then I'll spend the extra money. You know, that's why I got this. I needed something with the wide mouth, something with the torque and the power. And this is the only DeWalt cordless that I've got. Same thing with this Makita. You know, I was happy with my bargain basement driver from the brand from the depot for homes until I got this. And yeah, this is, it's way better than I need, but I really appreciate all the additional features and it's worthwhile. So the price on this currently is a couple $100. It's brand new, so I don't know if that'll come down with time, but even if it doesn't, it's worth it. It's worth every money. If you're a tradesman and you're going to use this day in, day out, hang from your belt, go up and down. Makitas, I mean, I've watched these things drop 20 feet onto a concrete slab, you know, on a work site, slam, works every time. So it's quality. But anyway, so that's my review of the Makita. I would give it 5 out of 5 stars. Definitely happy with it.